I was standing here with Derrick from Keene, correct?
Yes, I live in Keene.
We're here at the Free Ian Sine Wave, but I wanted to talk to you about your pet issue, which is freedom to travel. And you're in a special position because most freedom to travel activists are people that keep getting arrested for exercising the freedom to travel. So it looks like they're just trying to defend themselves. But you actually care about it even though you currently do not drive. You're a bike rider.
That's correct. I ride my bike everywhere. I've been biking for about 2 years now as my sole means of transportation. But I do think that freedom to travel is an important issue because I feel like travel would happen much differently than it does today if we lived in a free market. Just a few examples, I think there would be more taxi services and fewer people owning cars themselves. There would be the ability to carpool. There are already websites where you can plan trips online so you can carpool with others. And there would be roads that are better designed to limit the amount of traffic that is going through them and to keep people moving so that there are fewer stops. We would wear out fewer brakes and get better gas mileage that way.
Can you think of a solution to this issue that would address both the government's concerns and the people's concerns? It could kind of be a win-win solution for both sides?
Well, the win-win is to take personal responsibility for your driving and your means of transportation. So you own yourself, and so if you own yourself, then you can, of course, own the property of a vehicle. And so if you own the property of a vehicle that's just the means that you're getting around the green earth, then I don't see why anyone would have to ask permission to travel, but with liberty comes responsibility. So if you're traveling, be aware of others around you and make sure that you utilize signals like a turning signal is an important thing to keep others on the road aware of what you're doing. And even bikers use traffic signals. Some of them. I encourage it.
We actually had an activist, Lauren Canario, arrested, I guess it was about 3 years ago, for driving without a license. And of course, it's become, I think it's happened to other folks since then. Hers got a lot of attention because it was maybe the first of its kind here in New Hampshire with our activists. But can you think of do you think that the government is it capable of, and should it use, how should it use win-win type solutions to interact with the people?
So a win-win for the government, what I see the government wanting, the folks who call themselves the government, is they want to make sure that they keep the roads safe, right? The best of them.
That's what they say.
Yeah. They want to make sure that there are very few accidents that are going to make them look bad.
That's why they forced us onto this small area that we're allowed to protest right in front of all these turning cars.
Well, hypocrisy is rampant in the folks who call themselves government, but I don't think that changes the fact that most people see them as a protective force, and so they want to keep up that image, and they want to show that they're doing their best to keep people safe. So if people just show them that taking personal responsibility for driving safely will limit the number of accidents, then they're unnecessary, really, and they can use their time to do more effective things like keeping real criminals in jail.
Yeah.
And further, if you do own yourself, then you really don't need to ask permission to use your own property to get around the world safely. So long as you're not infringing on anyone else. I wouldn't recommend driving through private property unless you have permission from the property owner. And that's one way it could work with the free market roads, is to have a private property road that you have permission to use. Maybe a license plate would be another similar example that people could use to show that they have already paid their dues or they have permission to use that road.
All right. Well, thanks, Derrick. I hope you never get arrested for right to travel.
Thank you.
See you out there.
See you later, Dave.